How's it going, guys, and welcome to RC Cincy. Today we have an E-Flight product, but before I share this with you guys, I would like to show you guys our newest addition to our family. It is this beautiful little Shih Tzu pup. His name is Franklin Jean. He was born on 6/1, so he's just over 8 weeks old. An amazing little pup. One of the reasons why I love Shih Tzu so much is they have real hair. They're extremely smart, very loyal, very obedient if you train them, of course. So he's been doing really well. Super excited to have him, and I'm just so happy. You know, we were really missing our little guy that passed away. So E-Flight has had quite a few products over the years. I've recently started purchasing E-Flights, probably about going on just over 2 years. So I've had quite a few products from them, and one thing I could honestly say is it's the best planes out of the box. What I mean by that is setup is very minimal, quality is very high, and packaging, there's nothing close to it. Any other product was packaged well, but this is like a whole nother level. Like, everything's always placed very carefully. You know, there's always 2 boxes. I've never gotten one damaged. I've never had screws missing. There were a couple where I think they did like an update, like on the Cherokee, where the battery is supposed to be CG'd at, and some adjustment to the elevator or something like that. But besides that, it was nothing that would have really caused an issue. So I had to trim those things, but once I did that, there was 0 issue with the plane. So this is one of the newest additions for the T-28. So the original T-28 came out a few years ago. Whoops. Let's go ahead and set this over here really quickly, so I can kind of show you the box. Let's pull that back. Yes, I used my foot to pull it back. Let's set that plane right here just for a minute so I can show you guys the box. So this is the T-28 Trojan 1.2 meter. They had a 1.2 meter version a few years back. They discontinued it abruptly. Then, of course, they released other ones in the past, like the, the Carbon Z 2 meter. Then, of course, they have the yellow 1.1 meter that doesn't have retracts or flaps. And then, of course, this is the re-release of the 1.2 version. You know, it now has safe. Before it did not have it. Now it says 3S and 4S on the box. Before, it only said 3S, but folks were actually flying on 4S. From slow to scale, all-out acrobatics. So it has a wide flight envelope, which is really nice. Factory installed retracts and flaps, which I can appreciate. And of course, it includes the smart Avian series ESCs. It is a 70 amp ESC, so it has tons of power and has so much stuff you can set up on it, which will have to be a completely different video because it's going to make the video too long. I try to be very detail oriented, so that's why my videos are kind of long. I'd rather give you guys the information, and hopefully if you don't need the information, you could always see the flight or the test video, so you kind of have an option there. The reason why I want to flip this around is I wanted to show you guys this shot. I love this shot right here with the landing gear coming out or going in, one of the two. Technically, it's one of the bigger ones. This is just shy, just over 1,200, 1,225. Usually it's a little under there, and they label it as a 1,200, so it's one of the bigger ones. Without the battery, it's 3.2 pounds, 1.47 kilograms, 38 inches long. It does have safe X3X, obviously Spectrum receiver. It has, I think it's an AR631 or something like that. Can't remember exactly. They have the light ESC 70 amp in there, brushless capabilities, operational retracts, scale-like strut covers and doors, which I can appreciate. Easily remove one-piece wing. And then, of course, lightweight, durable, composite, reinforced EPO construction. So they've gotten really good with all the reinforcements in there. Just done an all-around really good job. So in the box, it came very well packaged. Technically, I did an unboxing on this, and the phone died. I should have charged it. It was a rookie mistake. It was like 20-something%, almost 30. Didn't notice it because it was just above 20, so no indication popped out. Of course, I didn't check it, and it died, so it did not save the video or saved part of it or something like that, so I figured might as well redo that. So the instructions are always really good. I highly recommend kind of going through that and just seeing the CG, how to set it up, build it. Build-wise, which I'll get into in a second, was the easiest thing I've ever put together. So you do get a piece of Velcro that's already on there. I remove it because I put Velcro on my batteries, so it is nice to have that. Of course, you get a bind plug, and then, of course, the hardware, all the screws and little stuff, which I've already put together. So it is the easiest planes to put together, period. So right off the bat, I'll go over the details. Let me just go over how easy it was to put this together. So I literally pulled out the wing, the vertical stabs, a bag of screws, and the main fuselage. The prop, the nut was already on there. The prop wasn't on though. All I had to do was put one carbon fiber spar in there. Put these, they slide right into these notches. You cannot put them the wrong way. Put them together, 2 screws right there. Simple as that. The wing, I recommend adding the extensions on first. There are extensions that you need to add, 2 of them. The gear wires were long enough, the rest of them were not. It came with a Y plug / an extension. So I connected the flaps together and the ailerons together. They're labeled, please pay attention. Very simple to do. Plug those up, turn the fuselage upside down, fed the wires through the hole, put the wing down, 4 bolts, attach the wing, 1, 2, 3, 4. The wing was on. Obviously, I had to connect the elevator on the last notch. It did need some turning, so I had to turn it to where when it was on and it was in neutral position, it was too far up. Now when it's in a neutral position, it should basically line up with that right there. And then I checked the throw to make sure that it's getting the same amount of throw up as it is down. So you have the full range, make sure it's moving. Sometimes those can be really stiff. These hinges right here, I forget what this hinge is called, but sometimes it could be very stiff, so you kind of want to work that a little bit, maybe if you want to put it before you put it on. So that was very simple. The wires just plugged in. All I had to plug in was the ailerons. Plug that one in, and then the flaps at the end. So I had to plug in channel 2 and channel 6 is all I had to plug in. Everything else was plugged in. The servos were installed. Yes, they're supposed to cross. That was kind of weird at first for me. There is 3 battery straps in here. Of course, like I may have mentioned, I have Velcro on all my batteries. This is one of them that I would fly with. This is a 2660C. It is EC3, so I don't have to use an adapter or anything. There's 3 of them. Obviously, I'd recommend still using these because they will help hold it into place. Velcro will work, but these will just be extra reinforcement, especially if you're doing acrobatics. I just kind of tuck all the wires down there out of the way. You can see the antenna. Make sure you don't pull or cut or damage that antenna. Very important. I noticed that they went to a hinge system where you just pull this back and it unlocks it. So it's much better than magnets, a lot safer. Looks like they have the same kind of pilot. Still looks really good. Looks like he's soloing. No second trainee in the back. As far as the connector goes, this is the ICE, which is the smart connector. So this will give you, for the batteries, it'll even give you temperatures and it'll give you voltage, but it'll give you temperatures of the pack and everything like that. That smart light Avian ESC will give you, I think it'll do voltages, a bunch of different RPM for the motor, all kinds of stuff. Obviously, you have to have a radio that's updated enough for the Avian and a new enough generation. I think a DX8E should do it, a second gen DX8, NX series. Make sure you update your firmware, very, very important to do so. These ESCs are completely programmed. I mean, it's limitless what you can do. There's literally pages upon pages of stuff you can set up, and you can do reverse thrust. Now, I have not set up reverse thrust on mine. Honestly, if I had a smaller, shorter runway, maybe to help it slow down, or maybe taxi in a weird position. I don't know if it wasn't enough room. Honestly, I don't see the point of it. Knowing my luck, I'll hit a wrong switch and hit it. I just didn't really see the point of that. So, yeah, I didn't do it. I may just set it up just to see how to set it up. And then all I basically did was unscrew this, literally this big nut, unscrewed it, put the prop on, make sure it's nice and snug, and that was it. Of course, you have to bind it to a transmitter. You're gonna have to provide a battery and obviously a charger for that battery. And besides that, that was it. The wing was fully assembled, so all the landing gear, flaps, and ailerons was pre-assembled. All the stickers, everything like that. The nose gear was all assembled. Looks like it's got a nice thick metal thing, and then just plastic covers to make it more detailed, but that seems to be pretty beefy. Looks like a 15 size, if I had to guess. 90 degree front servo, so it looks like it's similar to like the P-39 and all that. Similar, may not be the same, we'll see. What else? It's got some detail on the prop, which I think is going to make it look really good when it spins coming at you. I think it's going to look amazing. Love the latch system and the canopy. There is a huge amount of room in there for massive batteries. I think it recommends from a 2200 up to 3200. I fly on 3300s, 2600s, and 2200s. All 4S. I don't even bother with 3S, to be honest with you. It's nice to have that extra punch and power, especially with the 70 amp ESC. This thing is going to be the best performing 1.2 meter. Before that, I would say it was the Air Cobra, just because of the way it was shaped and its size. With 4S, my Air Cobra was the fastest, I do believe. Then the P-39, or the P-51 Mustang, June Knight, was the second fastest, and then so forth and so on. But the P-39 was definitely the best performing. This is not probably the most aerodynamic, but I'm telling you, I think that 70 amp ESC is going to push it faster just because of the amperage. Obviously, if you beef up other planes like a, Air Cobra or something else and put the same stuff in it, it's probably going to be even faster. But I would love, I'm going to say it right now, if E-flite was smart, they would take the P-39 and add telemetry and an avian ESC in it and lights and that thing and a different paint scheme, and that thing would blow up. That was one of the funnest flying planes. I've actually been scared to fly because they discontinued, and I was afraid they were going to stop selling parts and stuff for it. So I actually just bought, where is it at? A front landing gear. So I've landed tons of times with it, usually pretty gentle. I had one little bump in the runway that kind of caused me to bounce. I hit the bump, it caused it to bounce, and that bounce damaged the little gears. It would go up and down, but right before it goes all the way in, it would kind of stop and it would kind of hang out a little bit, but then it would always open and close. So theoretically, I could fly like that. It just bugged me. So I went ahead and got the 15 size 90 degrees, so I think it's the same thing that basically runs in most of those 1.2 meter tricycle landing gear. So as far as the paint scheme, they did change it up. They went with a squadron. I think it's in like an Alabama or something. It was actual a naval training squadron, and it would say VT, and then it had the squadron initials. They switched it to VTHH for Horrizon Hobby. It was supposed to be called like the Pussycats or something like that. That's the, I guess, the teeth right there and the eye, the little eyebrow, and then it's supposed to be some kind of sun something on the back of it. That's the way it would have been paint schemed. You know, with the other Navy stickers on there. Obviously, it had the capabilities for the little hook there for aircraft carriers and the Navy, obviously. You don't want to chew that, buddy. That's one thing you don't want to chew. So, for the most part, he loves his little toys. He's been a really good boy. He always wants to play. He's a skitty boy. Skitty. He loves his little baby Squishmallow. So, I have not flown it. The only thing I've done is gotten my remote. Obviously, I've created a profile for it. I bound it. And I basically set up flaps the way it was in the book. I set up the safe select to have it, AX, 3X, obviously. I also, what else? Landing gear, you know, throttle cut, all the basics. I still need to do rates. I don't know if it's about any expo yet. I'm going to definitely do rates. I don't know about the reverse thrust. And then I just went to auto config for the telemetry. I'm going to see what works and what doesn't. We'll see if it works once I start flying. I'm curious. If not, I may have to do a firmware update on my DX8E. It was sold kind of later years of it, right before they not discontinued it, but well, technically, I don't know if you can still buy one. And then later on that next year, the NX, about a year ago, the NX6 and NX8 and NX10 came out, so it became kind of obsolete. So I would love to have an NX. Obviously, its color has way more technology, Wi-Fi, all the fun stuff, but it is a lot pricier, but everyone says it's an amazing radio. One of the guys at the airfield has it, and they absolutely love it, and also smart gen batteries is a thing to do as well. But for now, obviously, not for me. So, looking at some of the details, love the exhaust. Love how they did that strip there, because that would get really dirty from the exhaust, because it does actually follow the shape of the wing. You can see the carbon fiber spar in there. You can see, let's go up to the light, see if you can see. Oh, look at that, a big, huge carbon fiber spar through there. You can see how kind of everything's attached through there, all the little plastic stuff, all the wiring and everything ran through there. For the wing, obviously, for all the controls and stuff. This thing just looks absolutely beautiful. Those screws, by the way, going kind of crooked, and then once you get towards the end, they kind of straighten themselves out. It's weird. Make sure you push these all the way in. Do not forget the spar that goes in there. Check the box really well. Stuff's kind of in like little compartments, so you don't want to miss any bits. There's literally only 6 screws and 2 wire harnesses. That is it. That's all the assembly you have to do. That is insane to me. Put on the wing, the back of it, the vertical stabs or horizontal stabs, and the carbon fiber spar, and 6 screws. Like, it's literally the easiest. And then loosening this up, putting the prop on it and tightening it up. It is literally the easiest plane I've ever assembled, just about. Very easy. The paint, they left this. I wish they would have painted this. They left this just plain so you can see the foam texture. When they paint it, I think it looks 10 times better. I wish they would have painted this white. I guess it's cost savings. And I wish they would have give us extra screws in the bag. It'd be nice to have stuff like that. It doesn't hurt to have an extra screw or two. Just make sure you check all your control surfaces, that they are nice and flush and level. Like flush, everything just meets up perfectly. Check all that. Without any digital trim, you want to digitally trim once you get up in the air. Then you don't have to trim it anymore because you got it trimmed right. And it doesn't matter if it's off once you land, because that's the trim settings you need for it to fly nice and not be off. So obviously once you fly, you'll know what I'm talking about. Make sure you just trim it in the air. Once you get it, do all the mechanical trims on the ground, make sure everything's flat and level and how it should be, and you have enough throws, and then get it up in the air, trim it in the air, and that's the way it's going to be. Even though they're going to be off like that or something like that, it doesn't matter because you have trimmed it to flight. Wait 3 seconds, let go of the sticks, wait 3 seconds, and see if it's going up, down, you know, rolling to the left or right or whatever it's doing. Get it trimmed, and that's pretty much it. So this plane has not been flown. It's going to need its maiden. Oh, no, buddy. It's going to need its maiden. And that's really about it. There's little details here and there under there. You know, little levers for rescue. There's little stuff here and there. But I think this is going to be a beautiful plane. I absolutely love the little door covers right there. You can see they have that little metal piece. And it will cover them up perfectly once they fold in. It will perfectly cover the wheels, so it'll make it look really good. They have covers on the servos, just really high quality. I wish they would have done a little more with the radial engine. It's just plain it black. Obviously, you go in there with a little brush and some grays and, you know, other colors and literally make this very, very detailed. You could easily do that. What else? Light the paint. The scheme isn't my favorite with this part. If this part right here wasn't here, I think this would look even better. In my opinion, I may try to remove that. Everything else I think looks really, really good. So that's really it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. The experience of putting it together was very easy. Everyone, I think this came out about 4 or 5 months ago. Everyone is going crazy over it. That it just flies so good. Has unlimited vertical with 4S. It's just fast. It performs well. It flies good. It has really good flight characteristics. It wants to do acrobats. It loves flying upside down, even with the little dihedral in it. It still loves to fly upside down. It's just one of those planes that are just amazing, and that's why a lot of folks even bought. Once they discontinued the 1.2 meter, they still bought the 1.1 yellow one with no flaps and retracts. Like, that's how, you know, good that plane is. So yeah, we'll see how the front gear hold up and the back gear. I don't think, honestly, it's gonna be too bad. You obviously, being so new, you can get tons of parts for it. That shouldn't be an issue. What else? That really covers everything I wanted to cover in this video. So I think this is going to be an amazing, amazing plane. I cannot wait to share that with you guys. Sunday, by the way, I will be going to the world's largest yard sale in a row. So basically in Hamilton, once a year, they do this huge, huge yard sale. There is a flea market place up there that has like an indoor and outdoor area. I bought a booth in the outdoor area. Basically, the entire street, the entire neighborhood is doing like this huge yard sale and flea market kind of thing. It's going to be crazy, the amount of people. I think they estimate like 10 or 20,000 people come there. It's insane. Basically, everything you've ever wanted to find, you will find there. So what I decided to do is I'm starting to pack up some stuff. It's a little dark in here. I'm starting to pack up some stuff to sell. Tons of RCs. I literally have 5 or 6 bags in my shed, literally, that I'm going to pack up and bring up there. So I'm going to have a booth. Feel free, if you're in the Cincinnati, Hamilton area, Ohio area, if you've heard about that, just search world's largest yard sale or something like that. It's in Hamilton, Ohio. It's basically crazy. So many people come up there. I never knew. I drove past and it was super crazy last year. I fly. My airfield is literally 2 minutes around the corner. So I'll probably leave a little earlier. Made in this bad boy. Hopefully I have my wife with me so she can actually film it. Because if you don't have someone, you can't film it. I'm going to be very nervous. But I do really want to mate in this thing. And I really, really want to get the Air Cobra out and show you guys how amazing that plane is. And then a couple other ones that I just haven't done videos for. I want to do those. And I have a really great comparison coming for you guys for rock crawlers. Stay tuned for that. If you're into trucks and rock crawlers, I think you guys are going to enjoy that thing. That video that I have planned. So stay tuned for all that, guys. Really, really impressive stuff from E-Flight here. Very beautiful plane. I cannot wait to fly this for you guys. So that's going to do it. Buddy, say bye. He is running around with my landing gear in his mouth. Say bye, buddy. Say bye, Frankie. He's like, no, I'm over here tearing this up. He's so beautiful. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.